Every time you pull that elusive chase card in a Pokemon booster pack, you always think, how much is this card worth? I'm going to go ahead and show you how to figure that out. What is going on, Funhouse crew? Welcome back to the channel, TCG Funhouse, where we open up Pokemon cards. We're official licensed resellers in the Pokemon TCG, and we co-host an awesome podcast with the broke nerd called Next Phase Collectibles and Games here on YouTube. Also find it on Spotify and iTunes. I am Travis, and we have a really cool video today where we're going to talk about, one of the more important things when it comes to Pokemon cards, and that is, how much are my awesome pulls worth? So I'm going to show you guys how to figure that out today. We're going to go over a couple of different sources so that way we're not just pigeoning ourselves into one way of doing something. So that way we can go ahead and determine exactly how much your big pull is. Now this video is going to be for everybody. It's for new collectors, seasoned collectors, all kinds of stuff, guys, because market values are constantly changing. One day a card might be worth $500, $600. The next day it's down to $200 because the market has just been flooded with them. So you got to check them as frequently as possible, because very, very rarely do the cards actually stay the same value from week to week or month to month. And a lot of people have their own different opinions on how much their card is worth, and that is completely fine. If you are one of those collectors that is just all about collecting the cards and you don't care about the value of it, I'm 100% supportive of you. But there's a huge part of the community that wants to know a value of their collection, or if they get duplicates, I want to go ahead and sell one to somebody who might need it for a master set, and I don't want to get ripped off. This video is for you. Alright, so now that I got a few cards I want to go ahead and find the value on, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you here so you can see what I do to find out what my cards are worth. And honestly, guys, this is probably the most consistent way and the most well-known way to find out your actual value of your cards, because let's be honest, your cards are only worth as much as somebody's going to pay for it. So if you think that your card is worth $1,000 because that's what it sold for when the set first released, you might have, some bad news coming your way, because things are constantly changing. And if someone's not going to pay you that $1,000, is it really worth $1,000? So, TCGPlayer, I know most of you guys are familiar with it. It is the #1 website in terms of selling and buying singles online. Now, you can also do eBay, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we're going to go to TCGPlayer first. Right here, guys, just TCGPlayer.com. Now I'm sharing my screen with you. You can go ahead. This is what the homepage looks like. It's constantly evolving. It has your most recent stuff on there, guys. Again, this is good for Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, Digimon, all kinds of different stuff, guys. So definitely, this is the place you want to go to try to figure out if your cards are worth anything. Alright, guys, now that we know what card we're going to be searching up, I have chosen this Kyogre Amazing Rare from Shining Fates. I'm going to go ahead and search this right there in the search bar so we can get a good value, because I just recently pulled another one of these. Don't need it from a master set any longer, so I want to make sure that somebody else gets it for their master set, or maybe there's just a huge Kyogre fan out there who wants every Kyogre ever printed. Hey, power to ya. So we're going to go ahead and search here in the bar. We're just going to do Kyogre. We know what set it's from, so we're going to type in Shining Fates right next to it as well. Travis, learn to type, please. Thank you. And there it is, guys. The very first one that pops up is your Kyogre Amazing Rare from Shining Fates. So we're going to go ahead and click on it. It's going to give you all kinds of details about the card. It gives you a picture of it, so now you know this is indeed the card that I'm looking up, so that way you can match picture to picture, card number to card number, rarity, all kinds of stuff, guys. Make sure you're looking up the proper card, because there's different kinds of cards all the time that give you different versions, like reverses or deck exclusives or hollow, non-hollow, things like that. So this is, in fact, the card we're looking for, Kyogre Shining Fates Amazing Rare. So we're going to scroll down here to the price guide section right there. So this is where we're going to find our market price for the card and the listed median for the card. So some of you guys might be going, well, what does that mean, market price? How do they get this information? So you can click this little button right here, learn how we price cards. I'm just going to pop in there so we can go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to read it verbatim from the TCGPlayer site. So TCG Market Price, which is usually where I value my cards at. This price point is compiled from recent sales completed on TCGPlayer.com TCG Market Price is updated as transactions complete and reflect the best suggested retail price of a product. So it is constantly moving and changing for recent sales on TCGPlayer.com, which means you're going to get the most up-to-date price on it, because again, guys, your card is only worth what somebody is going to buy it for. Just because you think it's $20 or $30 doesn't mean that it's $20 or $30. And I'll give you the perfect example. This particular card, Kyogre Amazing Rare, if you go back to some of our Shining Fates openings, we pulled 2 of them very quickly, maybe even in the same opening, if I remember correctly. So I sold my first Kyogre Amazing Rare very quickly while Shining Fates was live, and it sold for $24. And you can see the market price on the Kyogre, if you look back at the other page, was down to $9. So different conditions, different times, different price of your card. Just because I sold one for $24 doesn't mean I'm going to go ahead and turn around and automatically put this card up for $24, because it will not sell. Nobody will even see it. So make sure you guys are doing that. And now let's go ahead and go down to this median price, which is something else that's listed, right? Listed median. This is a median from all listed prices for a product based on listed prices only. So that means every single Kyogre Amazing Rare that is listed on TCGPlayer.com is accumulated, and they spit out that listed median price, okay? So good stuff right there. Let's go ahead, and we're going to go back to the Amazing Rare card. Okay, so now, also one thing that you need to keep in mind, not a big deal for this card because it's such a new card, so you want to look at conditions as well. Sometimes on some of the older cards, the lower price point will be significantly lower if it's like a damaged or just a not mint condition card, so it could sway your perception on how much your card is worth as well. So you can see right here, here's a couple of sellers that currently have it up, and they actually list it in lowest price first. So you can see Limitless Games right here, who I've actually purchased cards from in the past. Very respectable site, 99.9%, so recommended there. But they are selling one with shipping included at $9.39 as the floor. They actually have 3 of them. So they have 3 of those available at $9.39. So if your plan is, I'm going to try to sell this at $20 because that's what I think it's worth, it's not going to go anywhere. Because look at all these available right now for under $10, guys. 5 available, 3 available, 2, 2, 2, 3. So there's over 20 cards for under $10 right now. So take it as is. Now, I want to go back to the condition thing real quick. So let's go ahead and search a vintage card. Okay. Yes, it just changed my Jolteon to Jolted. So let's go ahead and pull up our Jolteon Jungle, right? So let's just go check it out. So we got a holographic Jolteon Jungle right here. Now it's going to give you the market price of $41.47. That's of all cards sold recently, right? So when you're scrolling down, I have it marked for near mint. So I only like looking for near mint, sometimes lightly played cards, depending on if I'm going for a copy for my binder or to get graded. Right down here are your filters. This is where you can figure it out. So let's say you were digging through your shoebox and find a not very good condition Jolteon from Jungle, right? So we're going to change this to heavily played. We're going to unclick near mint. And you're going to see the price change dramatically here. So a heavily played holofoil that I just found in my shoebox in my dad's attic because he held on to it for a very long time, listed down there at $16.99. And you can see all the different ones available here as heavily played cards. So you got $16.99, $17, $14, $19. So you got to take into consideration the condition of the card before you start pricing stuff. So if I pull that Jolteon out of my shoebox that's been in there for 20 plus years, and I come right down here to market price and I see $41.47, and I try to sell my damaged holographic Jolteon for $41.47, it's not going to get sold. It's just not going to happen. So make sure you're also checking the conditions and you're not just going immediately for that market price, because that is for every single card sold, every Jolteon card sold in considerable time. So definitely check that. Go back to near mint and you can see right here we're at $46, $47, $45, $60 a lot of times on that near mint holographic Jolteon. It's a beautiful card, I'm not gonna lie. So the price guide right here, guys, market price, that is everything that's damaged, that is heavily played, moderately played, and near mint. So they put them all in a little thing, they shake it up, and this is the price. That's the market price for the card. So keep that in mind, guys. Let's go ahead and let's search a couple of other cards. I got recently just pulled this Rapid Strike Urshifu V. Let's go ahead and pull that up. So we're going to go Urshifu V. And you can see right here, it gives you an entire list of the stuff that's there. So bam, bam, bam. We're going to go down. They got the full art. They got the regular one. So I want the alternate art. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit Urshifu V. That way you can see all the Urshifu cards that pop up and make sure you get the right one. Because if I were to just click on full art, it probably would have given me this one right here. The Rapid Strike Urshifu V full art. But we need to find the alternate art, which is down here, even a little bit farther. And it didn't show right away on that drop-down menu, right? So I didn't want to type it all out. So you just go down to Urshifu V. Bam, there's my Rapid Strike right there. Pretty decent card, if I do say so myself. Current market price at $141.18. So I'm super stoked that I pulled this card. It's the only one I have, so I'm actually thinking about just holding onto it. And it looks, it's a little off-centered, so it's not Gem 10, but don't you worry about that. But that is how you use TCGPlayer to find some of the values of your cards. All right, guys, another website that a lot of people use to find the value of their cards is actually eBay. So most actual hardcore collectors and stuff do use TCGPlayer, and a lot of casual people tend to use eBay to find the value of their cards. But I'm gonna show you guys how to specifically use your filters to actually find a more acceptable value of your card without, you know, overpricing it or things like that. So let me show you what a lot of people do when they're using eBay, okay? So we're gonna use the Urshifu again. So we're gonna use the Urshifu Rapid Strike alternate art again. So we're gonna do Urshifu V. Now, because it's alternate art and because there's tons of Urshifu Vs out there, the searching for this would be significantly harder than TCGPlayer. So the easiest way to combat that is to use the card number. So we're gonna go 170 to 163 Urshifu V. And now we're gonna get some of the cards popped up. If you were just to search Urshifu V full art, you'd get a lot of the regular full art cards because they're more common, and there's probably 3 times to 4 times as many of those up on eBay as the alternate art, and then you gotta siphon through and blah, blah, blah. But, so let's go ahead and, again, you gotta be very careful. Look at this right across the front. It says digital card, online TCG Go, right? So if you're not paying attention and you see this pop up, you might think this is a $21 card, and then you put it up on eBay for $21 and somebody snipes it and throws a party. So make sure you're paying attention, and it's another reason why filtering out all that nonsense in eBay is really important. So we're gonna continue to go down here. So again, one of the biggest misconceptions, guys, is that right now I'm looking at listed prices, okay? So I'm not looking at sold prices. So there is no evidence that these cards are worth this any longer, because there are people out there who put up a card at a certain price, whatever the market price was at the time, and they forget about it for 2 or 3 or 4 months. And they might have a Urshifu Rapid Strike V that they got opened on their very first week of opening it up on eBay for $400 because it was selling for that when the set very first released. But now that it's all here and we've gotten more and more Urshifu alternate arts, it's definitely not that price anymore, but some people still have their listing up because they just don't pay attention. So make sure you're looking out for that. So here we go, guys. This is just, you can see the different range here in the listed product, okay? So 215, 278, 160. So there's this huge gap, right? 200, 303, 235, 125, 175, and then you got bids and you got buy it now. So again, 2 different things that you got to keep an eye on. So the easiest way to combat all this stuff, because that is not going to give you an accurate price on how much your card is actually worth, you want to make sure that you're using the filters, okay? So we're actually gonna be using the eBay filters that they give us to find sold listings to get a more accurate price on what our card is worth, because we now have definitive proof that a card has sold for this price and recently. So you're gonna use the filters down here on the left-hand side, okay? So you're gonna just keep scrolling down until you get to more filters, because it's not one of the most commonly used filters, right? So you're going to go down here to show only because you can't do any action on these. You can't bid, you can't buy. They're sold, they're gone. And you're going to go over here to sold items. You're going to highlight that and you're going to click apply. So now you're going to get a list of all sold Urshifu Rapid Strike Vs to get a more accurate price on what your card is worth. And again, there's that online card. When you see PTCGO, that means it's an online card. That O stands for online. Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. So always keep that in mind. So here we go, guys. Here are the sold listings for the Rapid Strike alternate art. 160. It even tells you when they sold. So this card sold right here at 160 on March 27th. So as of recording this video, that was only like 4 days ago. So good stuff right there. April 1st, it sold for 140. April 1st, it was sold for 145. So there's your perfect example of your market change right there. Just in 4 days, the card went from 160 to 140, 145. So 133. And again, here's another perfect example of the market changing. On 3/17, this person sold it for 233 in an auction. So the price has come down on this card significantly recently, because just about 2 weeks ago, the card was consistently selling for $200 to $210. So always stay on top of it. There's your PSA 10 right there, 11 hundo. That's nice. That is nice. So you can kind of just get a little vision of how much your card is worth on the most recent sales. 160, 140, 145, right? So 133, 180, 182, 130, 135. So that's where you can kind of gather this information and assume this card is worth about $140, $145 if I look at recently sold listings. And guess what? What's the current market price over on TCGPlayer? $141.18. So now we have two very consistent sources of the two biggest selling TCG single websites between eBay and TCGPlayer. After doing my work in information searching, I now have discovered that they're basically the same, and they both have my card listed at about $140, $141. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys, and figuring out how much your cards are worth here at TCG Funhouse, where we have tons of Pokemon content here online. Check it out, guys. We have videos on how to become a licensed reseller to Pokemon TCG. We do loads and loads of unboxings. We have a podcast weekly with the Broke Nerd called Next Phase Collectibles and Games. Plus, we have an awesome Discord server that we just recently launched around the podcast. So go check that out in the description below. Click that, join the Discord server. There's tons of perks. Just awesome conversation, guys. We're looking to build the funnest, safest community here in the Pokemon TCG. And it's that part of the video, guys, where if you're new here, please smash that subscribe button for me. And if you like Pokemon, hit that like button. It really does help push this channel out there. I really appreciate all of the love and support from all you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, guys, where we post almost every single day on those three social media platforms. Come hang out with us. We got live streams, box breaks, all kinds of stuff, guys. We are killing it. We're crushing it. Come hang out with us. Have a wonderful night.